This is a shoulder blade awareness drill using a wall and a band for some help. So what we're gonna do is get this band here. I'm gonna hook my thumbs on it and then get it up right underneath my armpits so it's kind of across my shoulder blades. So what we're going for in this drill is getting awareness of where the shoulder blades are in space. I find for a lot of folks that can be difficult, either because of pain and injury or just because 21st century we do a lot of things that kind of shrug us up, but I find that people end up being kind of stuck in this upward position, or they're just have a hard time feeling where their shoulder blades are in space because it's an area that's hard to visualize, the movements are complex. But what I find is that as we go into dynamic movement, a lot of people default, especially when they're under tension or moving weight, that they shrug up. That's their default kind of movement, is this shrugging up. And that's often not the most powerful place to be, and for some people it can be uncomfortable. And so we're trying to learn how to feel where the shoulder blades are, so that way as we go into other exercises, we can maintain control and awareness of the shoulder blades. So often just an awareness or proprioception drill can be helpful. So I have a few of these. This one I'm going to come to a wall. I have a lighter power band here on the shoulder blades, and I'm going to lean against the wall here. Purpose of that is so I can feel my shoulder blades against the wall. I can feel that band beneath my back between the wall, but I can also feel my low back, and that is flat. If you can, head gently against the wall. If your head's a little forward, don't worry about it. But what I'm trying to feel is make sure that when I go to move, I'm not moving my low back and I'm not moving my head. We're trying to isolate the shoulder blades. From there, movement number one is I'm going to act like I'm giving somebody in front of me a nice big hug. And what I'm trying to do is gets the shoulder blades moving forward. In this hug position, I'm then going to shrug up and back down as far as I can. The up may be uncomfortable. If it's painful or uncomfortable, we're going to get out of that position. But I want you to feel that even as the arms and shoulder blades come forward, there's some up and down movement available. And so as we come forward, we want to keep this space between shoulder and ear. We don't want to come forward and just boom, come into the neck. It's often we see in like a push-up, people come out and then they fall into that compressed neck position. And so I want to be able to come forward and stay down, up, down, and back. Forward and around. So I'm trying to get around like somebody with a big barrel chest or a tree, coming around, because that gets my shoulder blades moving forward and making sure I'm not up, down, and I'm feeling those two patterns. Now from there, I'm going to let the band pull me back, squeeze open. So now I got elbows and arms against the wall, and opening buttons on a shirt, space between shoulders and ears, but I'm going to go from this extreme, up, down, up, down, forward, up, down, back, up, down. So my hope is with this is you start to feel that there's various movements. Shoulder blades can move forward and back, they can move up and down, and they can do both of those things together. This is probably not uniformly true, but in a lot of movements, we want to stay in this down position. We may want to move forward from there, like if I'm pushing something, or I may want to move back from there, like if I'm pulling something. But I can do both of those without being here. And so just by finding the extremes, ooh, that doesn't feel as good. Okay, let me come down. That feels a little bit better. So we're using the extremes, far down as I can, back, buttons on a shirt opening up, forward, big hug, back, and then I can go up, feel what that feels like to compress all this up there. Feels kind of tight, and then I can try and come forward. That's not where I want to be. Much better. And then back up, back, doesn't feel super great for me. Come down, quite a bit better. So if you don't have a band, you can do the same thing, but I find that the band just helps to give a little feedback about where things are in space and gives a little muscle resistance as well.